Victor Martin in that F1 car. I think if these two can't perform, they're probably going to be out of a job pretty soon. And yeah, looking probably, unfortunately, at to drive in another series unless they can snag a sort of lower field drive. But yeah, I think Gasly and Ocon for now. I think once they've got their current issues flattened out, Martin and doing for the future, in my opinion.
That's good.
Um,
That's a good choice, Ben. I'll stick with that as well.
yeah. Okay. Well, we come now to the final prediction. Sauber, Sauber. Very, very difficult one to decide. Amesh, what were your thoughts?
Well, I think I was going to say I already said Hulkenberg for Aston Martin, but if he doesn't go there, I think he will stay at Stake Sauber F1, whatever it's called. And I think no, he will move to Stake. Sorry, he's at Haas at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah,
So I have written down he will be moving to either Aston Martin or Stake. Not quite sure which one, but I think those two teams seem like reasonable options to where Nico Hulkenberg will end up. As for the second driver, I think I think they'll stick with Valtteri Bottas. I think he's shown stability in the team. He hasn't fallen too far behind to their expectations, and I think they definitely need someone to lead the team for the 2025 season.
agreed. But I think they need someone to lead, but I don't think they're going to get someone to lead. I think Valtteri Bottas is retiring at the end of the season.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that a
he's me
cool?
out. I think I've just got this vibe from Bottas over the past few years that he's looking to different things now. Um, a bit, slightly how I felt about Vettel in his final years. Just I feel like the lust for the sport is really sort of not dying, but certainly slowing down. Um, and I think that it's going to be a shock, I think, for Sauber. Um, and I think that means that they're going to hold on to Joe because he's their sort of proven commodity. Um, yeah, but as retiring, it's a difficult one to argue, but I have a gut feeling about it. I have a gut feeling that either he's definitely going to retire in Sauber, and I think it's going to be pretty soon. He's given me Kimi Räikkönen like pissing about a bit vibes. Um, and I think in his stead will be Zane Maloney, who is one of the only Sauber Academy drivers on their roster, and he's currently leading the Formula Two World Championship. Uh, Two victories already in F2, both in Bahrain and also a top five to boot in the Sauber feature race. The Saudi feature race. I think he is on an absolute tear at the minute, and I think that he could, yeah, really be the calling for Sauber's future, perhaps, and perhaps sort of forging his way into some of the higher places in Formula One. He's been cutting his teeth in F2 for a number of years now, and I think now's probably the time, if ever, for him to step up. What do you think about Zay Maloney?
Yeah, I think he definitely has a shot. I mean, I don't really know much about I haven't been following F2, I'll be honest, that much recently. I think I've only been focused on the big names, Ollie Behrman, Andrea Antonelli, Theo Porsche, Arthur Leclerc, you know.
Yeah.
I think what you said is reasonable. I think it's definitely time for teams to be looking at younger drivers. I think it's more of a generational thing, you know. I think it's all part of luck, what age you lie in, really.
Mhm.
Because if you look at, I think the last time something like this happened was 2019, where we got three rookies, Lando Norris, George Russell, and Alex Albon come into the sport. And then from then, nothing that big really happened. I think in 2021 we saw the likes of Yuki Tsunoda, and then a few rookies here and there. But I think now it's time. It's been a good number of years,
Been
and
a
I
while.
think yeah, it's been a while before teams have gone back to their driver development programs, and I think this in the next up and coming years they'll start to do that a bit more. So what you're saying is definitely be reasonable, and I have faith in that as well.
Mm. Yeah. Will Teo Pourchaire ever get a drive in Formula One? Who knows? Maybe not. Yeah, he's been super unlucky over the years.
Yeah.
Actually, he might be a shout for one of the Alfa Saubers or the Haas drives in the coming seasons, but time will tell. Right, we've got to finish up here, but very quickly, Australian Grand Prix, who is taking victory?
I think it's a pretty obvious answer here, Ben. I
Yeah,
think unfortunately it will have to be the same answer
yeah,
as the last
yeah.
10 races in F1. And I'm
It
going to go with
hopefully is
Max
as enjoyable as last
last
year's
year's race.
Grand Prix. Hopefully.
Yeah.
What about biggest surprise? Who do you think the biggest surprise is going to be?
Biggest surprise. I think I'm going to go with a midfield team performing quite well. I think I'm going to give them a podium in the predictions. And I'm going to say a podium for uh, Lewis Hamilton. I
Mm.
think it's not a complete surprise, but I think at this point where Mercedes' performance lies, I think it'll be pretty nice to see Lewis Hamilton on the podium. And I think he's been putting the hard work in, and I don't think his contract ending with Mercedes is going to affect his
Yeah,
performance for the rest of the season. So I think he's going to do really well in Australia.
solid. You heard it here first. Lewis Hamilton for a podium in Melbourne. We shall see, and we shall see precisely next week, Monday. Thank you for listening to F1 Isn't Real. Join us next week for a review of the 2024 Australian Grand Prix. Amesh, thank you as ever.
Thank you very much, Ben.